Welcome back, kids. Got a good video for you today. This is just a simple juice groove. I'm cutting into a 30-inch by 20-inch cutting board for a buddy of mine. And I almost didn't video this one because it was just, seemingly not a whole lot to that to make a video out of. But as it turns out, there were plenty of learning opportunities there, so I'm glad I did video it. I'm going to cover today in this video adding new tool to your Vectric database and also your Masso database, which will involve tool numbering for Vectric and for your Masso, using an offset tool when you're designing, doing your layout, radius corners on your rectangles and squares. And I also even did a dry run to kind of, because I didn't want to mess up my buddy's beautiful cutting board. So y'all just kick back, get you a bag of popcorn. I'm going to show you how I do all this. All right, we're in VCarve Pro. I'm still using version 11.554. I haven't upgraded to 12 yet. So this is my settings. My width 29.625, height 20.5625. It's 1.5 inches thick. I am zeroing off the material surface, and I am also using the bottom left corner. That is my G55. That's the corner of my fence. We click OK on that, and I'll show you what I did over here. This juice screw that we're cutting, I want it to be 3/4 of an inch wide. My bowl cut Jenny is 1/2 inch wide, so I made it a pocket, and we're just going to cut it out that way. This is the first rectangle that I made that's exactly the same size as the cutting board. And then all of this inside here, the juice groove, is measured from that point. Defining the edge of that board with a vector gives me a solid starting point to measure from going inside to the juice groove. So what I did, I went there, I highlighted that, and then I come down here and did an offset. I went inwards 1 inch and hit offset, and then that made this. Well, I'll just show you. So we do that, and you'll see what it did. Let me close that. It still gave it square corner. And that's fine, because the way to change that, I'm going to delete this one right here so I can show you how to do this. So you've got your rectangle highlighted. You just go in here to the rectangle tool, and this is where you define how you want the corners to look. You can either have radius external or internal, and it's showing you a pretty little preview over there of what it's going to look like. Well, we want the radius external. I just went with 3/4 of an inch. Then apply, and watch this corner up here. Boom. There, it put that 3/4 inch radius curve in there. And of course, that's all the way around. All the corners of that particular vector are rounded. Then on the inside, what I did, once I made this one, I come down here to the offset, and I knew I wanted it to be 3/4 of an inch wide, so that's where I set this to 0.75, inwards left, offset, okay, and you see it did the same thing here. It made it square. And then to change that to a rounded radius corner, we go back to we keep it highlighted, we go back to our draw rectangle tool and do the same thing we did before. Now, I'm not an algebra guy or a geometry guy. I mean, I make good grades in math, but not any of that other stuff. So if any of y'all have a recommendation on what this radius should be on this inner one here, I would be very interested to know that. But since that one's 3/4, I just guessed, made this one a 1/2, 0.5. So let's just see what that looks like. No, that's way too much. Let me change that to 0.25 and apply that. Now that matches what I already had here. And that's all there is to that. And you can just play with that. And that looks pretty close to me, but I'm sure there's a math formula that I could use if I wasn't a caveman. But I am a caveman. I have caveman DNA, and there's nothing I can do about that. So if y'all have a recommendation on how I can figure these to be the actual correct radius, let me know. I know some of y'all out there, some of y'all smart kids will know the answer to that. Put it down below. I'd sure appreciate it. But anyway, we're going to go with what I got there. Now let me just delete that one. Delete. Okay, now close. And we need to double check and make sure we still have these two vectors highlighted. Then we're going to come down here and calculate that. And here are my settings for this. Customer said he wants it a 1/2 inch deep. That's cool. We need to change this bit. Select that because I am using the new 1/2 inch bowl cut Jenny. And I've got to set her to tool number 48. That is 48. But I'm going to show y'all a little trick here. Because I'm noticing right here, if I set this down here to 48, that should make it say 48 up here, but that's not happening. And here's why. If you go in here to this edit, and if you look at the format, you can see, or I can see what I did wrong here. When I originally added this bowl cut Jenny to my Vectric database, I just typed in the tool number 47, and that doesn't work. I just wasn't thinking when I did that. I had a caveman moment there. Actually, in order for Vectric and the Masso to recognize that tool number, you need a snippet of code in there. So let's just just delete that 47 out of there that I had originally typed. And here's what you got to have. You got to have a bracket, tool number, and then close that bracket. And then you can see down here, it automatically changed that to 48, which matches this down here. So that's how you do that. And this is just how I have most of mine set up. Tool number, space, diameter in fractions, 1/2 inch. Unit short, I don't know what that is, but it was in there from the start. So I just leave it. I don't mess with that. And I have taken it out before, and I still couldn't tell any difference. But I leave it because it doesn't mess anything up, and I may need it. So anyway, unit short, and then I just type in what it is, which is the bowl cut Jenny. That's where I named it, so I know what it is. And then the tool type is a radius to end mill, and that's just that code. The tool type code pulls that up, the radius to end mill, because that's how we have it defined right here. So anyway, that's a good trick to know. And if you ever are having problems with your Masso reading or understanding your tool numbers, make sure you're using this tool number code snippet right here. That will make this match every time. So let's click OK. Click Apply. And all right, we're good to go. Going a 1/2 inch deep. There's our tool. It's going to do it in 5 passes. And I didn't mention all of those feeds and speeds in here. That comes straight from the GeniBit website. So that's what Cody recommends, and that's what Marty does. So, okay, let's go down here. We're going to calculate, reset preview, preview all. Ignore this down here. That is where the laser engraving is on there that the customer had already did. And if I just give it a color, you can see it. But I put that on there so that I could better visualize the halfway point between this laser engraving and the edge. And I tried to split it right down the middle, and I feel like I did. So that's why that's there. But I'm not really cutting that. Well, before we save it, let's see how long it's going to take. 1858. What? It's crazy. But it's making 5 passes, and that is a big 30-inch cutting board. So yeah, I'm not gonna argue with it. We're just gonna go with it. Let's save it. Physical toolpath one file. I've only got one toolpath. I'm not saving this one down here that's pocket. See it here. Because that was just for visualization. I'm only saving the juice screw. Save toolpath. And here we go. So I've already named it juice screw. Save. Yes, I'd saved it before. Let me go ahead and save this way too. What we had just saved was the G code. This will be the Vectric VCarve file, so that VCarve Pro will be able to open it back up. Q screw, save. Okay. All right, so that's in there. Let's open up our Masso link. Go down here to the file where this Q screw lives that we need, and see there's 2 of them here, the CRV and the NC. The NC is the G code. Any of y'all know what NC stands for? Let me know. As far as that goes, if you know what CRV stands for, let me know. I really don't know the answer to either one of those. We're going to drag the NC over here, send that file. And just like that, it's over there. Boom. All right, let's go over to the Masso and take over from there. So the first thing we got to do is add that new tool to the tool database. Go to your F4. I've already scrolled down here to line 48. That's what we assigned this new bowl cut Jenny as a 48 in the Vectric software. So it's got a match over here. I'm just going to type in the tool name. All right, and the tool diameter is a 1/2 inch, so I'll make that 0.5. We don't have to worry about the Z offset or the tool diameter where. Just going to hit save. All right, and just like that, Masso knows that tool number 48 is the bowl cut Jenny. How about that? If y'all haven't tried Jenny bits yet, you sure need to. When you're first starting out, I understand, trying to go the cheap route. But once you get more advanced and start doing more intricate kind of work, professional type work, go ahead and bite the bullet and switch over to a premium brand. Of course, I recommend Jenny bits and also IDC Woodcraft. They make excellent bits too. So you can't go wrong with either of those, that's for sure. All right, so we've got that loaded up in there. Just going to home the machine again. Uh-oh. Poor Michael. I forgot he was back there.
This is the worst.
That's not cool. World's best boss. All right. And while we're all over here anyway, I'll talk about this real quick. This is the DashMade Woodworking tool setter that I've had for quite some time now. The maximum diameter bit that you can use with this tool setter is 3/8 of an inch. Well, this is 1/2 inch. That wasn't going to work. But he makes this cool cap feature that's held on by magnets. You put it on there, and then you can do basically any size, oversized bit. And there's another one in there. I don't know how big it is, but it's probably, I don't know, at least 1.5 inches in diameter. But I just generally get by with this. The only time I use that bigger one is when I'm using my surface bit. Anyway, let's go back over here to the Masso and get that new file loaded up that we sent over. Get that glare off of there. All right, so we need to go to F6, Masso. See, there's that file we did last time. Juice groove, load. And there we go. All right, the only thing we have left to do is we need to set our Z height. We'll go back to probing. I should have did that while I was over there. So let's set that Z right quick. Oh, and I also need to, now this is just for me, I need to set my G55. So the easy way to do that is go to the probing tool, which is what we're fixing to use anyway. Here's the list of G offsets that are available. I use G55 for my wasteboard fence. So let's go over here and set the Z real quick. And I'm sad to report that that was probably the last time I'll ever be able to use this probe block without putting the magnet on the collar nut or somewhere on the spindle. The reason being, these spindles, the standard spindle that comes from PwnCNC, they have steel bearings, and I have the QCW wasteboard, and somehow or another that combination allows you to just put your magnet down here on your wasteboard. I've always just been using these bolt heads here, just, you know, any of them work, and that completes the circuit or whatever that would be called whenever this bit touches that probe block. But the new ATC spindle that I'm fixing to switch over to has ceramic bearings. That prevents it from completing that circuit, I guess you would say. This has steel bearings. The ATC motor has ceramic bearings. So that's the difference. And from now on, I'll have to be like everybody else and put my magnet up there whenever I want to probe. And I know that's going to cause problems. I am so used to doing it this way. I got to figure out some kind of little trick here that will remind me every time that I need to put that magnet on there, but I can foresee me messing up some bits.
Now the main problem area is up here. All of this going on up here is what's causing me the most physical discomfort. It's
got that done. We've set the Z. My XY is already taken care of because I'm using my G55, which always sets my XY at the corner of my fence. So I don't even have to worry about setting that. It's already set. See how cool that is? So at this point, let me exit the probing over here. We've got our file loaded up. I believe all we have left to do is get this thing going. And I'm going to run a dry run just for the heck of it, to kind of show y'all how that works. And also peace of mind, because, you know, I didn't make that board. A buddy of mine did, that cutting board. I don't want to mess up all his hard work. So let's do a dry run. So in order to do that, from your F2 screen, go to your MDI, then just click on dry run. And you'll notice this up here says dry run, and there's a little flashing symbol in there. From that point, all you have to do is hit, well, I would always go to work origin. I need to rewind that, and then we'll hit cycle start, and it's just going to trace out the outline of this cut, but it'll be above the board and the spindle will never come on. Cycle start. And what this does, it gives me a chance to double check the line that the spindle is following and make sure it lines up with where I think it should be. And so far that looks great. I want it to come right down here, just like it's doing. And it'll get here and come across. Then we're going to split the difference between the lasering over here and the edge of the board. All right, so it's going to take 5 passes to do this. It's just running the second pass. There's no need in going any further than that. So I've already determined that my positioning is correct. So let's go back over here, and I'll just hit the red stop button. That stopped her dead in her tracks. I'm going to turn off the dry run, which all you do is tap it again. Now that you're out of that, then just exit. Now I'm going to hit rewind, and get us back up at the top of this G code. I'm going to go to my work origin. That's just a good habit to get into when you use a G offset. All right, we're ready to cut. Y'all cross your fingers. Hope everything goes good. I think it will. All we got to do is rewind, cycle start. It's going to come over here and measure. That's fine. We've already got that tool in there. It's going to measure and then go to work. Cycle start. And I know that seems redundant, but it works. I don't have any problems since I've started doing this method. That's a little low up there. The board's not flat, but there ain't nothing I can do about it. Y'all be sure and leave me a like, and if you haven't already subscribed, please do so. If you have any comments or questions, leave them down below. I always reply to those. Still not touching along there. I may have to shim that backside up a little bit and run this again. We'll see. I'm cutting 1/2 inch deep, so that may be enough to make up for it. I'm not sure. Oh. Y'all look how clean that thing cut. All I did was vacuum. That's amazing. But look at that though. Super, super nice. All right, Ethan, it's ready for you. That's it for this one, kids. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope you learned something. I was surprised at how many tips and tricks I was able to throw into a simple carve like a juice groove. But anyway, I'm happy with this, with how this one turned out. Update on the ATC. I know I said in the last video that this week I was going to be installing the ATC and blah, blah, blah. Didn't happen. I did get to work on it a little bit, but juice groove job showed up, and although that only took actually like 19 minutes to cut, well, then it's followed by 3 days of editing video. So, man. So, anyway, all of this stuff just takes time. I've also been doing quite a bit more phone support, tech support, and that's going real well. I'm getting to meet some of you guys, and I appreciate y'all uh, calling in and letting me work with you a little bit and help you. Also, to my members out there, or if you're not members of the channel yet, I really, really, really would appreciate it if you'd do that, and you'll enjoy it if you do. Like I just got through shooting a short members only video that I'm going to post today, which is Thursday, whereas this video won't be uploaded until Saturday or Sunday. So anyway, they get a sneak peek at kind of what I've been up to and some behind the scenes things. So if you'd be interested in something like that, check out my membership levels here on YouTube, also on Patreon, also on Buy Me a Coffee. There's all kinds of options out there, and real simple to send me money. Anyway, hadn't updated my member count in quite a while, so this is my new number. I'm well over 1,900 now. I think 1,920 something, but anyway, whatever that says there, that's what the current one is. Let me talk about Discord for a minute. Y'all need to check that out. It's a group chat over there, and I do have several members, but not near enough. You know, we got a handful over there. I'll put it like that. But I think this is going to work out okay. The more I learn about it, the better it gets. And you can post pictures, videos over there. Ask, you know, it's just fun. So y'all come hang out with us at the Caveman Club on Discord. I have a link down below in the description. Y'all be sure to check that out. And probably most of y'all have never even been on Discord, don't even know what Discord is. I was one of those guys until just a few weeks ago. But now it's pretty much a normal part of my life. So y'all check it out, and I hope to see y'all over there. Anyway, that's all I've got today. Thank y'all for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for your memberships. And I'll see you on the next video.